Hi everybody, welcome back to Nerdcouver.
Yeah.
We're back to talk about comics, which is the thing that we do.
It feels like so long ago since we last met.
It's been ages, just ages.
Forever, not like this.
Anime revolution is past us.
Yes.
New comic book day is upon us.
Yes.
Or it's, happening. Currently happening. It's a present thing.
It is.
Yeah.
And then it's the past.
What?
And then it's the past. It's by the time they see this.
Yeah,
that's true.
Time keeps on slipping into the future.
Speaking of time and time travel, Transference #2 came out.
I saw the back of that and I was like, God Killer?
Yeah, God Killer is all the time. No, Transference
Technically
came out. This one was about a bunch of people that time traveled and kind of like fixed problems for rich people. And then someone that was not so nice got their hands on time travel ability and just started really messing things up for these people. So the second issue is about them trying to figure out who it is, and they actually meet up with the bad guy that has time travel.
I want to be clear on this. So they go back and they fix time for rich people.
Yes.
So they're working for the 1%.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to keep people down, time travel is the way to do it.
But you see, the rich people are the only ones that can afford to pay for their service. Kitties. The Mantle.
It was so much better than the last issue.
Yeah, the Mantle is definitely getting better.
Mantle really picked up this week. Like if you felt that it was beginning to drag or lag or you didn't know where it was going, like this issue picks it up. It's fantastic. It's really well done.
Rat Queens!
So good.
Yes, Rat Queens finally came out again. This is the start of a new arc. It's basically going to be a lot of Hannah's story.
Yep.
They go to Mage University, which is going to be awesome. And yeah, this issue was kind of like just them traveling and getting like a setup for what the arc's going to be. But
getting captured by goblins.
Yeah, which is fun. But yeah, it starts off really like action-packed, and then it's just a lot of girl bonding, which is always cute. I love the characters so much in this story.
Because it's
Yes.
They do such a good job in Rat Queens. I'm really, really glad that it finally came back out again, and this might get to you too late. But you should know that there are Rat Queens social gathering events on social media. What did you think of the new art?
Okay, I love Tessa's art, but it's just following after...
Cedric?
Well, okay, I love Rock's art. I really do. Like, he is a fantastic artist, and he just fit the story so well. Like, it was their designs. Like, both of them designed it, and, like, I don't think anyone could ever beat Rock and Rat Queen's art. Cedric was a really good follow-up, because, like, his art is... It's very unique.
It's insane how good his art is.
The covers have been phenomenal. Some of the inside art was a little rushed. Like you could tell that he was, focusing on other things and just like pumping the books out. He was sick too, so that probably had a lot of influence in him getting the work done on time. So I really like Tamara's coloring, and I really want to meet her, but like she doesn't go to any cons. I mean, it will probably take a while to get used to, but like some of this art is just it doesn't work for me.
It looks like Wicked and Divine done on the cheap.
Yeah.
To be like perfectly frank, and like it's one of those things that might grow on me in time, but yeah, the art felt off, I'm glad I'm not the only one that had that experience. The elves look like goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
But
it's weird because like some of it is fine. Like
gorgeous. Some of it.
Some of it is amazing. It looks like this one panel of Betty here. It looks kind of like Rock's art. But then you get the panel on the next page here with the close-ups of their facial expressions. And it's just like that doesn't look like them at all.
It's the strong writing that is still carrying this book.
Yeah.
They really like Rat Queens.
We really like Rat Queens. They're advertising like a Rat Queens special edition that collects like 10 issues and like a whole whack of other stuff.
Deluxe doses.
So I'm going to be definitely grabbing that.
They like doing that.
I wasn't too impressed with the art, but I'm just glad that it's back and still going, because it would be a damn shame if it was canceled. We all read Archie.
Yeah, we all read Archie.
Archie number 2.
I liked it a lot.
I liked
did too.
it.
Not as much as the first issue.
Yeah, the first issue was like really strong. This one, it was still good, but
It gets into Archie's like clumsiness. We get a bit
Yeah.
more of the background characters, so the Diltons and the Midges and the Mooses.
mhm,
We get an actual history for Jughead.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool stuff in it.
there
Really
is.
good art, and
We get the introduction of.
Veronica
Yeah.
finally comes in,
She
but
looks really weird.
she does look really weird.
Anna Staples.
I wasn't, you know.
Does not seem like a normal Veronica. She kind of looks like. Actually, seeing it again, she looks like one of the like Kylie Jenner.
The
She
Kardashians.
looks like a Kardashian.
Yeah.
to be
But-
fair, she is supposed to be very, very rich.
Yeah.
So
And I guess that's nowadays what the rich are depicted as. The Kardashians. I continuously, like, I love Betty so much, and this
Yep.
issue just really made me like her more, just like her trying to be super girly, and
I loved her not getting the shoes and then the
Yeah.
nails and the curling iron.
like trying to
Yeah.
be girly, curling
just
her hair, and
failing.
yeah, like trying to do makeup is like horrible.
I loved Archie just being clumsy
Yeah.
in general. I
Archie.
love them playing into that because that was always one of the markings of Archie in the older books
Mhm.
was that he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No, he's really not. I don't know why both girls go after him so much.
It was pretty funny, the sequence of his just narrating how it's like nobody ever seems to like. So I think I'm doing pretty good at this job.
Yeah.
He's about to like kill himself like 8 times. See all his friends in the background just like grabbing stuff out.
Like
of the
they
way.
all get construction jobs to make sure he doesn't die.
Yeah.
all
I
to
don't
just build the lodge mansion.
Yeah.
Which
It's cute.
spoiler, he knocks down at the end of the issue.
He's trying to make up for the damage that he did during the day and botches.
Badly.
Rolls a 1.
And you know
And that's why he makes Veronica.
it's a good way of showing, you know, like one of the reasons why Mr. Lodge hates Archie. So that works.
Yeah.
You destroyed my house, like.
That'll do it.
You two aren't very thrilled about.
Annie Wu taking over.
It's not just Annie Wu. Nessa Fish or something like that.
You know, I'm gonna suspend judgment on that until I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't too crazy
It was
about
like,
the
if
cover.
you guys-
but
If you guys look up, because there's, I know Annie was only going to do it till she's 6, and then somebody else is taking over,
yeah,
and
they're
she,
doing
yeah,
3-issue arcs, aren't they?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because if you look up, there's a promo image for that Riverdale show they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and the girl they had draw the promo art is the next artist after Annie Wu, and that seems like the perfect fit for the series.
Welcome back.
Okay,
Amazing.
so all 3 of us read Welcome Back this week.
Yeah.
Technically, Trin goes with the time travel thing that we were doing at the beginning as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Sort of.
true. It is true. It's about people that are reborn and are constantly drawn to another person who has been reborn, and they
kill them.
kill each other. Yeah.
They know each other over lifetimes more intimately than any lover.
Yes.
And
but
there's-
it's not a love story.
No. And there's more than what it looks like on the surface going on, because we're told that there's other types of people that incarnate, and there
Yes.
appears to be some sort of war going on.
It's
Mhm.
like some sort of
But
Illuminati conspiracy.
Yeah,
war,
an organization.
organization.
but
A war organization.
that's brilliant. So well done.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love the last page of this issue.
I
Yeah.
It's
love
such a good laugh.
everything about this issue. This comic is fantastic. This is one of the best new comics I've read in a good long stretch, and I'm really, really happy that this is coming out, because it's going to fill the hole left by Hexed.
Yeah, which we'll get into in
Yeah.
a second. But yes, so it starts off with Mally, who's our main character, and you find out that she is the daughter of a stepdaughter, right, of a serial killer. Basically, her life has not been a good one because, you know, people they fantasize about her and, you know, send her mail.
other.
Yeah, send her mail, which she reads, and she laughs it off with her. I guess it's her roommate, but you can tell in like one of the panels that it actually really bothers her. And I mean, I would.
I'm
yeah.
going to like trivialize your trauma and
Mhm.
not really understand who you are, but think that we have a deep spiritual connection.
Yeah. And then she starts having these dreams about, you know, past lives that she's experienced. She doesn't know that it was her past life, and she keeps on witnessing these people dying. And at the
And she's just trying to lead a life.
yeah,
Like
she just
she's
wants to
moved
be
to like
normal.
small town nowhere,
And like change
thinking
her
that maybe
Yeah.
people will forget who she is or not know her, but of course people inevitably do.
Yes, they
And-
always find her. She starts to reawaken and remember that she has been these people that she has been dreaming about.
Are all real.
Yeah, and there's also another character who is I'm calling it her other half, because that's the only way I can explain it so far, is that this other character is the one that she's being drawn to, and the other character is being drawn to Mally. And I'm assuming at the end of this comic, which is only 4 parts, they will have a showdown. So, yeah. And the ending, as Nathan said, is very awesome.
Phenomenal. Do not spoil.
We're not
people
gonna spoil,
because, my God. Again, just a really, really brilliant concept, really tight myth building, incredibly good writing, and art that works perfectly with the story that's going. It's fantastic all the way through. Because based on the strength of that comic, I want a second part.
Yeah, for sure. And they could do so much with it because, like, they could have entirely new characters, but still the same character, right? So,
well, you wouldn't even you could explore anybody in any incarnation. You could go to any time period. It's a mythology that lends itself well to an incredible depth of story. So, really cool.
Lots of potential.
All right, you guys talk about your Hexed.
Oh my God!
So good.
Oh my God, Michael Allen Nelson.
This is like one of the most satisfying endings to anything I have ever read.
He's really good with his endings.
So good.
Call of Cthulhu or Fall of Cthulhu had that same quality of ending, and my God, this was beautifully done.
So good. It was like everything was pretty much wrapped up. No loose ends. An opening for more. But the ending is like so perfect that if there wasn't more,
it would be okay.
It'd be okay.
Which is to say, it's not okay.
It's not okay because I want more. I want more adventures. Yes, especially now that,
Raina and
I don't know. Should we spoil? Is it a spoiler?
I was just saying Raina and letting it drop from there, but Raina and blank are running things. I want to see where that story goes. I want to see how this picks up. Did the Sisters of Witchdown survive? Probably not. But that lends itself to even more storytelling. I want to know what happens next.
Yes.
I have to say,
oh my God!
I really like this cover.
This cover is amazing.
Yeah, you should see the art inside.
I flipped through it.
Yeah,
so
pretty good. Still like the cover more. Same person, right?
Yeah.
Only does the art on this comic.
She's so sad.
It's the only art that this guy has ever done is in this book.
Really?
Yeah. And
Put him on another book.
I know, right?
Please.
He needs to be on all the
not
books,
all the books, but he's like another. He's another Stezhin Sejic in that his art style is just so freaking great. There's really isn't anything that compares to the artwork in Hexed, except possibly the writing in Hexed. And it's one of those things where these two disparate parts connect to each other perfectly and create something that is greater than the sum. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal book, and cannot recommend it enough. It's incredible.
The first trade comes out, I think, next month.
I was gonna say, the trade's out so I can read it.
Well, yeah.
I'll be grabbing that.
Sorry,
you can totally read. It's so.
I just want to frame this against my wall so I can look at it all the time.
That's fair.
Cover.
But not just the cover, like every individual page in order, so you can just wake up and read the comic and recognize.
Issue 1, just around my house, as I'm doing my daily chores.
Yeah, because it's
how
rare.
How many chores would you actually get done though? Because you're reading the comic, you walk
Few.
How many chores do I do now?
Here's the thing though.
I don't know.
It's not often that you come across something that is genuinely perfect, and Hexed was. So
I guess I'll have to read this trade.
You're going to have
find
to.
out.
You're going to need to.
Yeah.
It's like oxygen, like heroin. You cannot live without it. Hex is fantastic, and you really should be reading it if you are not.
Yes. Read it.
How good is Boom?
Boom is just killing it right
Boom
now.
is freaking amazing.
Except with the Spire.
Well,
I really like the Spire.
Oh yeah.
It has potential.
It has a lot of potential. Valiant did 3 comics today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they did Rye, which I'm not going to talk about. Ivar, which I'm going to talk about briefly because time travel. any comic that has Amelia Earhart flying a spaceship at the end of all time with 3 immortals on board to save the inventor of time travel from her future self is a good comic.
Wow, that sounds really complicatedly
and
amazing.
fun.
It's amazing. So Book of Death ties actually into the Immortals, because the Immortals became immortal by basically killing their kingdom trying to resurrect one of their own.
Okay.
They're 3 brothers. One of those brothers, the one that they were trying to resurrect, became the Eternal Warrior. So the spirit of the Earth has actually chosen him as its avatar, its champion, to defend what's called a Geomancer. And the Geomancer is Captain Planet from one lifetime to the next.
Planet.
So the Geomancer is a champion
You're
of the
probably
Earth.
too young.
I know what Captain Planet is.
Okay.
Everybody should know what Captain Planet is.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the Immortals in this book, one of a villain that we haven't seen in a while actually comes back, and it makes perfect sense what it is that he's doing and what is actually going on in this comic. Dude automatically sets him up as the big bad of the entire Valiant universe on a level that somebody like Thanos or Darkseid would envy. It's freaking great. We also find out more and more what's going on. So, the Eternal Warrior is part of a team of people that are Valiant's big heroes. They're their version of the Avengers. So the Eternal Warriors let them know that the Geomancer is a thing that exists. So that they are aware that sometimes, if he needs backup. But they haven't been at it for 10,000 years like he has. So when spirits of the Earth start going awry and shit just keeps going wrong, and people are dying and towns are getting swallowed up by wild places, by nature, they assume the Geomancer is doing it, which is a logical assumption to make. But it's not. And we find out exactly what's going on and why in this issue, and it's fantastic. If you have been following Valiant since its reboot, and why wouldn't you? They've been so good. This issue is mind-blowing. If you haven't been, this issue is still mind-blowing, but for different reasons. I cannot recommend this series enough, which, I said the same thing about Hexed and Welcome Back, but there's a reason I'm talking about these comics. They're so good. They're on a parallel level of quality, and you should be reading them. Loki was great. Ali Ewing also wrote a perfect comic and a perfect ending. The crux of this entire run has been Loki versus himself. Loki trying to come to terms with who he was and who he wants to be. And we got to see the logical progression of the path that he was on, and the other gods not letting him be anything more than he was, the god of lies. No matter what he did, no matter how heroic he became, and having to confront that possible future, he chose to go in a different direction. He became the god of stories. This comic comes across, he just completely sidesteps Secret Wars, which is a wise decision.
Yet there's still a Secret Wars logo down there.
There was also a Next Wave thing on the Next Wave crossover with Next Wave, only it was subtitled with Mark Miller licks goats.
What?
Yeah, Next Wave was the greatest comic ever. But this is phenomenal. There has never been an ending to a person-on-person conflict that is as sweet and poignant and meaningful as this one. This entire comic series has been brilliant, and this is the perfect ending to it. I cannot imagine any other way that this could have ended better. Incredible art all the way through, great new character design, great new, just some beautiful, beautiful moments for Loki. And I cannot wait to see where this goes next. I cannot wait.
I'm going to start off with probably my favorite book ever at the moment, Justice League.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, seriously, Justice League's gotten really, really good. It's always been a hit and miss pull for ever since I got into comics. But ever since Jason Babok came on for the art, it's Jeff Johns kind of stepped up his game and kind of focused on actually telling stories rather than setting up crossover upon crossover upon crossover, which is pretty much what Justice League has been for the last 3 years.
It really has, hasn't it?
Yeah, it did. Even the best storyline in Throne of Atlantis was still a crossover.
Yep.
But now the actual best storyline of Jeff Johns' Justice League run, for sure, unless he bumbles it at the end, which I doubt, because this Great. So pretty much it's part 3 of the Dark Side War. You get to see a bit more of Batman sitting on Metron's chair. You get Bat God, and he was pretty interesting. But yeah, pretty much you get a lot of like character moments, a lot of good interactions between basically everybody on the Justice League going to Batman going, you should really get off that chair. I don't know what it's going to do to you. He's like, guys, I got this. It's fine.
Goddamn Batman.
They're like, alright, you can't do this on your own. So Green Lantern and Batman, at the end of their scene, go off to traverse the multiverse for the answer of how the heck do we deal with the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid. And then Batman. The rest of the Justice League, minus Superman and Lex Luthor, go off to intervene in the war between the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid with some great narration by Wonder Woman. And then we get a pretty good scene between Superman and Lex Luthor, where they're kind of just stuck on Apocalypse, just the two of them. Real buddy moments for the two of them. Except not really, because Superman loses all his powers on Apocalypse. And it was not a good time. And it was really shocking for Lex Luthor, which Jason Fabok does great. The whole book feels really cinematic in the layout, especially at the opening, which does this great scene introducing Calabac. I guess not a ton of stuff happens, but it's more just set up for more things that are going on later.
More crossovers.
It's not more crossovers. For once, you wrote a book on its own, other than the bunch of one-shots that it's getting that connects to this storyline, but it's not crossing over to Batman, it's not crossing over to anything. Like, it's good. This loose continuity DC has had since the DCU started makes everything very nicely self-contained.
Which is great.
Yeah, and then at the end, some crazy stuff happens to Superman.
Oh, clearly.
Which I actually just read an interview about how they did that, and it was, rather than just, we made him black and white, it's actually the process of, because you can see on the cover that Superman's all glowing black and white, and evidently what they did is that Brad Anderson colored him normally, but then goes back and inverts all the colors, and then filters it out a bit more so it gets a bit more black and white, so they're like, it creates a really unique image, and it is.
And it does.
Really cool. Yeah, this is actually beating Batman for me right now. That Justice League
just saying something.
That good.
That is.
I love Batman. Alright? I love Batman. Don't bite me. Robin, son of Batman, number 3. So we get more Robin, Damian Wayne adventures going off to redeem himself for his year of blood. Yeah. They dubbed it the Year of Blood, where Damian did a whole bunch of terrible things to prove himself the heir to Ra's al Ghul. And so now he's like, I'm the son of Batman now. I'm gonna go fix that stuff.
Yeah.
And the daughter of nobody,
one person a day.
Yeah. Who Damian, he's now teamed up with the daughter of nobody, the character, the villain from the very first Batman and Robin arc. Yep, yeah. That Damian killed. So it's an interesting dynamic, and actually probably the funniest, probably my favorite. This is my favorite book overall, but my favorite moment this week happens here, is that at one point, Nobody 2 knocks the crap out of Damian, and a tooth flies out, and she's like, later on in the issue, she's like, sorry about that tooth, and he's like, it's fine, it's loose anyways. And she's like, what do you mean? And he's just like quiet. He's like, wait, you still have baby teeth? And he's just really quiet. And then she just laughs at him, so Damian's adorable because he's a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Damian is a great character when he's got somebody to play off of.
Yeah.
Because he's basically a psychotic, unstoppable killing machine who happens to be 10.
Yep. Although probably 11 by this point.
Yeah.
Because at least there's been at least 2 years at this point that passed in DC time since New 52 began.
Although he was dead for a year.
Continuity is loose. Let it be loose.
Super loose. And yeah, Patrick Gleason does the writing and the penciling duties. And normally I'm really hesitant of a writer and artist on both, because most of the time it doesn't do it. The writing usually suffers, and eventually the art begins to suffer too.
Yeah.
And Gleason's knocking it out of the park. All 3 issues is that his arc's always on point, and his writing and his characterization of Damian is really on point. This feels like very much a sequel to what Pete Tomasi was doing in Batman and Robin, and I wholeheartedly recommend picking up this comic if you love Damian.
I love Damian.
How do you not? And the last thing I picked up this week was Star Wars number 8.
How is it?
It was pretty cool. It's like this issue starts a new arc after last week's mediocre filler issue of a flashback, Obi-Wan flashback. So we're back in present time. Stuart Immonen is now the new ongoing artist for this arc. Again, he does a great job. I like his work.
Did he do the cover art?
Yeah, he did the cover, he did the interiors. Everything pretty much looks like this on the inside, so it's good. We get to find out a bit more about Sana Solo. the mysterious wife of Han.
Spoilers!
Yeah, spoilers from issue 6 that you guys all should have picked up, because Star Wars has been great.
It actually has been.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you let Jason Aaron write.
It's true.
You end up with good comics.
Yeah, so just kind of, Han's kind of like, this is not Leia, because Sana thinks that he's brought Leia here to, you know, stuff. And, and you know, Han's like, this doesn't look like to either of you, because it's like, you have a wife? And it's like, no, she's not really. It's like, I have papers. So I was like, I have papers that prove otherwise. And he's like, she's not really like, nobody's really letting Han explain the situation, because you got two women that are like, what the hell's going on, man? And then Sana's like, we're gonna sell. It's like, dear Princess Leia, we're gonna sell you to the Empire. Han, you're gonna help me. Let's stop pretending that you're a good guy.
That doesn't work.
Nice.
Don't try to sell Princess Leia.
Yeah.
She just ends up
Trying
becoming
to
Leia.
sell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't go well, because then she
Becomes
kicks
the Hutt
crap
Slayer.
out of both of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Leia
But
rocks.
still, by the end of the issue, things aren't going great for those three, and then we have Luke, who's off.
He's just kind of like doing his own
Luke's
thing.
doing his own thing, which
It's like,
is...
I had enough of these Ramalamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's gone off after Arc 1 going, I'm not a Jedi, guys. I need to go be a Jedi. So he's off trying to, you know, learn to be a Jedi. And he's the only place where he feels he'll learn to be a Jedi, so he goes back to the home of the Jedi, in the destroyed temple on Coruscant. You know, the center of the Empire. The most heavily guarded planet in the whole galaxy.
And he's going to the Jedi Temple,
Yes.
apparently. Yeah.
Which is going to be even harder to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But first off, he stops in a bar on a rogue planet, and it doesn't show what he's there. He does like a skip ahead. He gets there, and they're just like, "Okay, we're gonna rob you, we're gonna kill you, and then we're gonna feed you to some squids." And he's like, then he whips out the lightsaber, and which then gets stolen by a bounty hunter.
Of course.
And
oh
then,
my god, Luke,
yeah.
you're so useless.
Yeah, Luke does not have a good time of it. So it's gonna be interesting, but I'm really excited to see where Luke's journey goes. I mean, we know where it goes by the end of. It's good to know where he is by the time Episode 5 rolls around.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. We're filling in the gaps, and I guess most of Marvel's Star Wars books are all about filling in the gaps in preparation for the new movie. So
Oh god, I can't wait.
I'm enjoying
It's gonna be
the
so good.
crap
I
out of
new
it.
Star Wars Rebels.
But yeah, Star Wars, a really good issue. Interested to see where the rest of this arc goes.
Yep.
Before I'll probably stop reading it, because then it's going into a crossover with Darth Vader. Although the story sounds cool. It's called Vader Down. Vader's stuck behind enemy lines and has to fight his way through a whole bunch of rebels. Sounds
Poor
cool.
rebels.
Yeah.
Poor
Darth
rebels.
Vader's gonna mess you up.
Alright guys, we gotta wrap up because Rat Queen socials in like 5 minutes.
Oh god,
yeah.
we gotta go.
gotta
So,
do that.
thank
I
you for
gotta go.
watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks to Big Pete's for having us and supplying our comics.
Yeah.
Big Pete's rules.
Yeah.
Buy all the comics.
All of
so I can read them.